You buy the thing, the new phone, the new shoes, the watch you have been staring at for 3 weeks, and for about 2 days you feel amazing. Then it's gone. That feeling just evaporates, and you are already looking at the next thing. I used to think something was wrong with me, like I was broken, or greedy, or just impossible to satisfy. Turns out it wasn't me. It was a chemical doing exactly what it was designed to do, and almost nobody understands how it actually works. By the end of this video, you're going to know why you keep feeling empty no matter how much you buy, why the happiest people you know don't chase as hard as you do, and the one shift that flips dopamine from working against you to working for you. I'm going to show you something near the end that completely changed how I look at my own habits, so stick around for that. Let me give you the thing right away, because I hate videos that make you wait 10 minutes for the point. Here it is. Dopamine is not the chemical of happiness. Everyone gets this wrong. We treat dopamine like it's the reward. It's not. Dopamine is the chasing, it's the wanting, it's the part of your brain that lights up before you get the thing, not when you have it. Read that again. The hit comes from the chase, not the prize. So when you buy something and feel empty 2 days later, that's not a bug, that's the system working perfectly. The dopamine was never going to last, because dopamine was never about the object, it was about the pursuit. That's why this matters, and I will show you why in a second. But first, let me prove I'm not just making this up. There's a researcher named Robert Sopolsky, a neuroscientist at Stanford, who ran experiments on this with monkeys. They would give a monkey a signal, then the monkey does a task, then it gets a reward, a treat. You would think dopamine spikes when the monkey eats the treat, right? Wrong. The dopamine spiked the moment the signal appeared. Before any work, before any reward, the brain lit up at the possibility. And here's the part that should scare you a little. When they made the reward random, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't, the dopamine didn't go down, it went up. Almost double. Uncertainty, the maybe. That's the strongest hit of all. Now think about your phone. Think about slot machine. Think about scrolling, where you don't know if the next video is going to be amazing or garbage. Think about online shopping, where part of the thrill is the package on the way, the maybe it will feel as good as you imagined. You're living inside a machine built on the exact thing that drives dopamine hardest, the maybe. So why does this actually matter for your life? Why am I making a whole video about a brain chemical? Because this is quietly running your entire day, and most people never see it. Here's the trap. Every time you chase a hit and get it, your brain adjusts. The baseline drops, so the next time that same thing doesn't feel as good. You need more, a bigger purchase, a faster scroll, a louder win. This is why the person who buys the car still isn't happy, and why the person with $1 million wants 10. It's a treadmill. And the cruel part is, the more you chase, the faster the treadmill goes, and the worse you feel when you stop, even for a second. That empty, restless, I should be doing something feeling, that's your baseline crashing. So now you have got millions of people who feel anxious the moment they are not chasing something, who can't sit still, who can't enjoy a quiet evening because their brain is screaming for the next hit. And they think the answer is to chase harder, to buy more, achieve more, grind more. It's the exact opposite. And this is where it gets interesting, because there's a reason the people who seem the most content are usually not the ones chasing the hardest. I will get to what they do differently, but you have to understand one more thing first. Here's what nobody wants to hear. Buying things, chasing the next achievement, the constant grind, a lot of time, it's not about the thing. It's about avoiding yourself. It's easier to buy a new pair of shoes than to sit alone with your own thoughts and ask, am I actually okay? Am I happy? Is this the life I even want? The chase is a distraction. It's loud enough to drown out the quiet questions. And those quiet questions are the ones that actually matter. I will be honest with you. I went through a stretch where I bought stuff constantly. Gadgets, clothes, courses, I never finished. And one night, I'm sitting there with all this new stuff around me, and I felt worse than before I bought any of it. Because the stuff was never the problem. The problem was I didn't like being alone with my own head. And no purchase on earth was going to fix that. The dopamine hit was just a way to not deal with it, to not listen to myself. So here's the shift. And it's smaller than you think, but it changes everything. You don't kill dopamine. You can't. And you wouldn't want to. It's what gets you out of the bed, what makes you pursue good things, what drives you toward a real goal. The point isn't to feel nothing. The point is to stop letting cheap dopamine steal the slot that real dopamine should fill. Cheap dopamine is fast and empty. Scroll, buy, swipe, repeat. Instant, then gone. Then you need more. Real dopamine is slow. It's the satisfaction of finishing a workout you didn't want to do, building something over months, a conversation with someone you love with your phone in the other room. Effort, then reward. And that kind doesn't crash your baseline, it builds it. The problem is the cheap stuff is so loud and so easy that it crowds out the slow stuff entirely. Why spend 3 months getting fit when you can feel a hit in 3 seconds on your phone? Think about that. So the move is to make the cheap hits a little harder and the real ones a little easier. That's it. You're not fighting your brain, you're just changing what's in front of it. And this is the part I told you about at the start. The thing that actually changed how I look at my own habits. It's a question. I stole it from nobody. I just started asking every time I felt the urge to grab my phone or buy something or chase a hit. The question is, will I be glad I did this in an hour? That's it. Not tomorrow, not next year, just 1 hour. Because here's what I noticed. The scroll, in an hour I would regret it every time. The impulse buy, regret. But the walk, the workout, the actual work on something I cared about, even just sitting quietly without needing to escape, in an hour, I was always glad. Your future self by 1 hour is honest in a way your craving never is. The craving lies to you about how good the thing will feel. 1 hour later tells the truth. And here's the thing, the chasing makes you forget completely. You can be happy right now, not after the next purchase, not after you hit the goal, not after you have finally made it, right now. The whole dopamine treadmill is built on the idea that happiness is always one chase away. One more thing, one more level, and so you spend your entire life running toward a finish line that moves every time you get close. Look, there is nothing wrong with wanting more. Wanting a better life, more money, a stronger body, that's good. That's healthy dopamine pulling you forward. But if you can only feel okay when you are chasing, you've already lost. Because you will get the thing and the emptiness will still be there, waiting. Believe me, the people who actually seem content, they want things too. But they are not using the chase to avoid their own life. They can sit in a quiet moment and not feel like they are missing something. They can enjoy the coffee, the morning, the small win, without immediately needing the next one. That's the whole game. Chase real things, slowly, on purpose, and actually be there for the life happening in between. Look, imagine waking up and not reaching for your phone in the first 10 seconds. Imagine wanting things, working toward them, but not feeling that desperate, anxious itch when you are not chasing. Imagine sitting alone for an hour and feeling fine. Imagine getting the thing you wanted and actually enjoying it, instead of already looking past it. That's not some monk level enlightenment, that's just dopamine working the right way instead of the wrong way. And it's closer than you think. It starts next time you feel that itch and ask yourself one honest question. Look, my friend, if this hits something for you, do me a favor. Try that 1 hour question for the next 24 hours, just once when you feel the urge. Then come back and tell me in the comments what happened, because I read them all and I want to know if it lands for you the way it did for me. Stay handsome, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.